So, hi guys. This report is about marginalization in
Marginalization in
education,
Education,
prepared
prepared
by
by
Venus
Venus
Angela
Angela
Tanghal
Tanghal
and
and
Lucille-based
Lucille-based Tesorero.
Tesorero. So, the theory of marginalization can trace its roots to the theory of the marginal man, which at first pointed to the particular personality traits that arise when a person is situated in a marginal position among two social that are not completely matched. So according to D.T. Clark, ang marginalization daw can trace its root to the theory of marginal man. Marginal man means that not involved in the main event or developments of society because they are poor or no power. The point nga at first pointed to the particular personality traits that arise when a person is situated in a marginal position. Then that marginal position means small or not very important. Robert Park and Everett analysis of marginal man focuses on an individual who is born and raised in a one culture. This transition situates the individual in an enduring interaction and connection with a different culture, religion, language, race, and political belief brought about by schooling, intercultural marriage, immigration, or other reasons. So according to Robert Parkpod og Everett, ilang analysis sa marginal man kay nakafocus nga ang individual kay born and raised in one culture nga nakasituate sa enduring interaction and connection sa nga naa sila different culture, religion, language, race, political beliefs, and etc. So Park identified this individual as person who becomes a cultural hybrid living and sharing intimately in life of two distinct peoples, unwilling to break with his past and not acceptable by outside world. A crisis experience become a personal concern when an individual is rejected. So ing ani man jud ni siya no nga ang crisis jud kay ang personal concern jud o if ang isa ka tawo or individual is rejected, like let's say sa circle of friends, kay naa man jud mga mag-amigo or naa man jud mga tawo nga ilang mga friends jud kay mga dato, dili sila mamigaan ng mga poor kay wala sila wala sila ikaambag, wala sila ikuan, dili sila makamaigo sa mga poor, ana mga rich kid nga mga tawo, mga ingana. Pero ano pa yung mga tawo nga lahi ra pod sa ingana nga bisag unsa ka poor, unsa ka or unsa ka diha is dawat ra gihapon ka kay friend ka by heart og friend ka nila by heart, not of being og unsa ka or unsa imong situation sa kinabuhi. Og pareha pod anang mga ay pareha pod anang na mga sometimes hospital na pud kayo usahay nabalitaan anang sa mga hospital nga dili sila mudawat or dili sila mo entertain kaayo if ang ilang patient o ilang kuan kay poor or murag wala sa ikahatag or ika down payment, murag dili nila kay entertain, murag pabayaanan kay nila na ay mga ingana nga issue karon sa kuan maong ang crisis jud kay personal concern jud if ang individual is ma-reject or kuan. So marginalization naturally start even before children get into school and persist until they become adults. So marginalization basically arises from culturally deeply embedded values, beliefs, standard norms, and other factors which determine acceptability within a social frame. The United Nations Development Program of 1996 defined marginalization as the state of being considered unimportant, undesirable, unworthy, insignificant, indifferent, resulting in inequity, unfairness, deprivation, and a forced lack of access to mainstream power. In its 2010 Global Monitoring Report of UNESCO stated that education plays a vital and decisive role in neutralizing the inequality and persisting illiteracy that encompass generation. However, education can also support prejudice and continue marginalization. In marginalization, education originates from culturally intense belief, values, and typical norms that regulate recognition and acknowledgement of other people within a specific social standard. It is a form of acute and persistent disadvantage rooted in underlying social inequalities. It existed as a result of policies and processes that sustain this prejudice to a group or to some individuals. The report also states that those who are marginalized usually exhibit lower levels of educational attainment. The highest form of marginalization, therefore, is an insufficiency in availability of education. If na ay highest form of marginalization, therefore, naadyo siya insufficiency in availability of education. So the next slide will be reported by Lucille Blaze Tesorero.
So thank you, Ms. Tanghal. So going further, MISUA 2012 discussed the issue about labeling wherein a learner is categorized as belonging to certain group depending on the learner's need or challenges. This refers to learner with special needs. So this means that in year 2012, there is a labeling where i-categorize ang mga tao kung asa sila capable mo doing things. For example, they are learning or they learn how to do such things while the other do the other one. So silbi, for example, you are good at counseling. So kaning tanan nga group diri nga side sa pika sa side is gilabel sila as counselors, kay good sila in counseling, while the other that are capable of doing such like for example a teacher, they are good at teaching and letting students understand, so they are labeled as teachers. So that's what I understand. So in some country, labeling mean supplemental resources, especially in educational, certain teaching, learning strategies, techniques, physical and emotional requirements, and service provided for the learner. So, this is so understandable. So, I just want to kuan nga ang sa lain mga countries kay na mga resources nga for special education, especially in teaching, mga techniques, and emotional requirements which is needed jud siya sa mga educators for students who have special needs. So next, so there are 4 general ways the child experiences some kind of marginalization that is recognized by almost everybody, including him or herself. Second is the child feels that he or she is experiencing marginalization, whereas most of the other do not recognize this. So, na-experience aware ang bata nga na-experience ang marginalization that our people didn't see it coming or didn't see or saw that he or she is experiencing marginalization. So, when 3 is when a child is found in what appears to be marginalized situations but does not feel it or does not view it as marginalization. So, kung ang katong ikaduha kay ang child mismo naka-feel that he or she is marginalized, ikatulo na sad laing tao ang maka-realize niya ang bata mismo kay wala naka-realize. So fourth is when a child experiencing marginalization but that's not admitted. Mo ni ang gitawag na denial or nasa sa denial stage where she or he is aware that she is marginalized or he or she is experiencing marginalization but are afraid to admit it, maybe because like what I said, they are afraid or they don't want to accept that they experience those things. So that's it for our reporting. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something. So thank you and God bless.